Hello everyone and welcome to episode 37 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series. Today should be a pretty fun episode because we are going to continue exploring the Savari personal story and we will be finishing chapter 3 of that story. But at the very start of this episode I just want to run around a little bit and finish up our map completion in the Grove because we are at 82%, so it shouldn't take too long to do that. And I also want to look through our hero panel here, and I want to come into our training, and I want to pick an elite skill for us to be able to use to be able to have a more powerful ability that we can use against our enemies. So coming into here, we have a few different elite skills that we could pick. So we could have a spectral elite form, a minion, or a corruption, and then we could also pick from any of our Savari elite skills here. And I think right off the bat I am wanting to go ahead and go into the spectral form here, and I'm not sure if we have enough hero points for it just yet, so we need 2 more hero points for it. But I just learned this spectral walk here, but I will go ahead and get 2 more hero points at some point, and then we can go ahead and learn the skill and we can use it in combat. But let's go ahead and run up here and get towards that vista so we can take a look at it. In order to get to it, we just have to run right down here and then we can interact with it. And now I know where the last vista that we need is, but we need 2 more points of interest as well to finish out this map. So it looks like they are above us. So let's go ahead and waypoint at least to the upper commons, because this is where we have to come for the vista. And then check in here, it looks like one of the points of interest is right underneath the vista here, and then another one is in the middle layer. So we have this vista right here. Let's go ahead and run over here. I also completed a daily so I can get this chest of the hero, and my bags are a mess, but I can go ahead and get a little bit of extra experience right there. And then let's go ahead and do a little bit of a jumping path here, not too complicated, just a few jumps that we need to make along these mushrooms and up the house here. And then we can go ahead and run across the house and then interact with this vista as well. And I see some diving goggles over there. So I think I want to drop down from this vista, and then let's go ahead and run towards these diving goggles and then jump down. So we need to get 1 more point of interest in order to complete this map. And then there was a vendor that I wanted to chat with on the upper level here, but we'll go ahead and do those 2 things after these diving goggles. Looks like we can just drop down right here, use our spinning skills, and then we can land in the water there. And then let's go ahead and waypoint to Reckoner's Waypoint. Since we are in the Grove, it does not cost any money. And then we can run, I believe it's the trading post that we need. It's covered by all the icons right here. But let's go ahead and run up here, and then we can complete the Grove. And since we are right next to the trading post, we can go ahead and actually seems like it's not the trading post we need. Let's go ahead and it's not showing up. Oh, it looks like it is above us. So I'm not sure what I was looking at, but since we're right next to the trading post, let's go ahead and pick up some of the gold that we have. And we now have 7 gold, 21 silver, and 98 copper on our account here. And I'm going to go ahead and waypoint to the upper commons. I'm going to check this 1 more time, and it looks like it is right here. Oh, it is above us again, so it might be in the Umphalos chamber, and there might be a point of interest up there that we have not collected. So let's go ahead and run up here, and then we can go ahead and load into here, and we should have a little bit of a cutscene that we could actually skip if we ever want to skip any of these cutscenes, but we can go ahead and get the point of interest for the Ventari's tablet right here. And since we are in an instance right now with the avatar of the tree right here, we did not get our pop-up for completing the Grove, but if we return to the Grove, we now see that we have 100%ed it, and then we can go ahead and get our reward chest here that is now showing up in the bottom right corner, and we got a transmutation charge and some experience points. But really quickly before we start our story, I wanted to run over here, and I wanted to take a look at cultural armor, which I think I explored a little bit on our human character But if you are new to the series and you're just jumping in right here, or if I did not expand on the human character that was like 30 weeks ago, let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit right now, because this is armor that we can buy with quite a bit of gold that is honestly pretty worth it, but it can only be worn by your specific race. So if you buy Savarii cultural armor, you can use it on any of your Savarii characters, but if you play a Char, you cannot use it. But the Char also have armor of their own, and then that is true with all the other races as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at what is known as Tier 1 cultural armor, which is pretty cheap. We could actually buy a full set right here, and actually has pretty decent stats. This is all better than everything we have right now. But we can see it looks pretty cool. It's very planty. The Savarii armor here, very planty. But we can go ahead and come over here and we can get a pretty similar vibe. So what was this set called? This set was called Snapdragon, but we can get this set here that is Orchid armor. We can go ahead and preview all of this. I'll just load it up really quickly. And of course the armor looks different if it's medium or heavy as well. I quite like this one as well, but this requires you to be level 60. It costs a little bit more money. I think we could actually buy a full set with the amount of gold we have. It's like pretty close. But then tier 3 we can see is going to be very expensive, and we cannot afford this right now. But taking a look at the Dryad set, we can go ahead and load this up. And it definitely looks pretty cool in my opinion, and I like this quite a bit. And then I think if we ever want to like customize this character and make an outfit on this character, this might be something that I look at, because I particularly like the Savarii culture armor, and like honestly all the other cultural armors as well. This is pretty much the only time we see cultural armor in the game. There are a couple of examples later on in the game, specifically with like the Char. There's like a couple of armor pieces special to the Char, but beyond that we don't really see anything like that, and people really wish we could have more of that in the game. But now let's go ahead and begin our personal story here. We're coming into our mail. We have a lot of stuff here. So we have a message from Keith here that says, "A splinter in the flesh, valiant you are needed. The 3 orders of Tyria are locked in an argument, and the Pale Tree wishes you to settle their differences. She calls upon you to be her herald, her voice in this issue, and I think there is more here than meets the eye. Return to the grove at your earliest convenience, and I will explain." And then we also got our message from an unusual individual that we have talked about. And then we got map completion in Caledon Forest. There's a lot of people talking right there. And then we also have our mail for the dungeon, which we will be exploring pretty soon now actually. But let's go ahead and load into our personal story mission here, A Splinter in the Flesh. So here we are in an instance version of the Grove. We have an individual named Generic Guardian Trainer, a Generic Thief Trainer. I think that might be a little bit of a bug, because there used to be trainers in the game, but they don't exist anymore. But it looks like their models are still kind of here. And then it looks like, where do we need to go actually for the story? I'm assuming, oh, Keith is right there. Let's go ahead and chat with her.
Valiant, the Pale Tree summons you.
Is there a problem? It sounds like there's a commotion in the Omphalos chamber.
Those are the emissaries of the 3 orders of Tyria. There is a situation.
The Orders of Tyria? Who are they, and what's going on?
The Orders are organized groups that work against the Elder Dragons, the Vigil, the Derman Priory, and the Order of Whispers. Zhaitan's might is growing. Its undead minions rise on the beaches of Kryta and the Tarnished Coast.
Why are the emissaries arguing? What am I walking into?
To the north, Overlake Haven is in danger of being overrun. The Lion Guard are outmatched by risen troops. We Sylvari realize that all life is intertwined. If Zhaitan threatens one race, he threatens us all.
Then why are the Orders arguing? Why don't they just do something about it?
We think alike, you and I. Let us speak with the Mother Tree.
Munition golems? You want to fight the Elder Dragons with toys and dollies?
Better than throwing away Sylvari lives on a direct assault.
No one's throwing away lives. Vigil soldiers are the best trained fighting force in Tyria.
Valiant. I'm glad you're here. They've been going on like this for an hour. Everyone, please be silent. We are all assembled, and the Mother Tree wishes to speak.
Greetings, Valiant. Today you take the next steps on the journey of your wild hunt. Zhaitan's forces are gathering at Overlake Haven. The Orders wish to defend the location, but their plans differ. Valiant, I name you to be my herald in this matter. The Grove can only back one of these plans. May your dream guide your decision.
I am honored, Mother Tree. I will do my best.
My name is Branthan. I represent the Vigil. We can have a platoon arrayed at Overlake Haven immediately. Our soldiers can handle this situation. In the Vigil, we prefer to fight our enemies head-on. The best way to protect the Haven is to provide military force.
You're asking to risk countless lives. Herald, the Dermond Priory proposes a far safer course of action. My name is Earworth. The Priory wants to utilize experimental munitions golems to destroy the undead. We'll have no soldiers on the field at all.
Completely untested munitions golems. You're the one risking lives. What if your golems fail?
And you, Emissary? You've been quiet through the whole argument.
I'm Kai, and I represent the Order of Whispers. I brought this situation to the Pale Tree's attention, but I'll leave the frontline fighting to the others.
Very well. Give me a moment to think this over, and then I'll decide.
So we have two different options here. We can either go with the Vigil, and we can go ahead and send some soldiers to defend the Haven, or we could go with the Priory, and we can use some munitions golems in order to defend the Haven. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go with the Priory here at the start of the episode. Say, I'm convinced. Let's use the golems.
Excellent choice, Herald. Trust me, you'll be very impressed with the Priory's plan. Scholar Kecht and the munitions golems will meet you at the Overlake Haven.
Enjoy playing with your little toys, Earworth. If it goes badly, the Vigil will be here.
And then we can go ahead and get our first piece of shoulder armor that we can equip, and then we can go ahead and head towards Overlake Haven, which I believe is located in Kessex Hills, and it indeed is. So let's go ahead and go to Cratebane Haven, and then we can go ahead and run that direction. At Cratebane Haven, we can go ahead and go across these three bridges here. We have two right there, and then an additional one right here. And then we can go ahead and take the road from this haven all the way to the next haven. And we can kind of imagine this is what a lot of traders would do, going from Lion's Arch to the Grove or to Red Assume, so that they would come down these roads and they would be passing by all these havens along the way to be able to get to these cities and then all the settlements in between. And then of course we know that this road expands far to the east as well. But we are now in Kessex Hills, which we have explored in multiple episodes now. It seems to be one of the zones we've spent the most time in the Suspect series, I think, because we have been here on our Ashura and our Savari now, and then we spent quite a bit of time here on our human. I think it's kind of tied for Gandharan Fields right now as well, but we can go ahead and run up here, and then this haven right here is Overlake Haven because it overlooks the lake, or is over the lake. But we can go ahead and enter the story mission right up here and begin defending the haven against any of the forces of Zhaitan which would seek to destroy it, and we can use the munition golems in order to defend it. Here we have Bramble Walls, the story mission, and we have this really cool concept art here.
I finished calibrating the powder to payload ratio. Ula's schematics were vague, so I improvised.
Ah, splendid. Here's the Herald now. Are we ready to proceed?
Be sure to observe all safety protocols as soon as I make them up.
Glad to see you, Herald. Here we stand, safe and sound above Overlake Haven, while the undead march on the field. We're outnumbered 20-1.
You sound cheerful despite the hopeless odds. Are the golems ready?
I'd say the odds are in our favor, actually. It doesn't take 1,000 soldiers to win a battle. It just takes one very smart researcher.
Priory explorers do a great deal of research into abandoned laboratories, ancient ruins, tomb crawling, dungeon running. Ah, that's the good life.
Yes, Kecht, that would be quite enough. You see, Kecht found the original schema for these munitions golems. He's very excited to see them in action.
As am I. Is everything ready to go? Those undead are getting a little too close for comfort.
Ah, yes, sorry. Allow me to explain. These golems were originally created for subterranean expansion. They enter a tiny tunnel and then explode, creating a widened area. Kecht and I fitted these models with deployable landmines. We piloted them remotely, right into the massed undead below.
Sounds brilliant. Let's see how they work.
Don't worry. We're quite safe up here, I assure you.
So let's go ahead and interact with this panel here.
Remember, lay down the landmines before you're mobbed. Durability, not one of the Golem's strong points.
And now we are controlling this tiny golem remotely, and then we have a mini mine, a triple mine, a mega mine, a taunt, and an etheric cloak. So let's go ahead and begin planting down a bunch of landmines, and we can go ahead and just run around the field there. So we planted a mini mine right there, which is presumably going to explode. I think we have to like force all of these Risen to run into it, and we also have the Risen coming towards us, and it looks like our golem there just got destroyed. So it looks like...
Don't worry, we have plenty of these things.
It looks like we can go ahead and get another one, so let's go ahead and do that and then charge straight back into the battlefield. It looks like this Risen Thrall came for me, and I tried to use the cloak there, but it looks like it did not work out. So then we'll go ahead and go on our third golem here, and then we'll charge in. So let's go ahead and try to plant a mega mine right here, maybe, just in case another like Risen like tries to come and attack us. And then we can plant that one there, and then let's go ahead and just plant this one right here, just in case. And then let's go ahead and throw that one there, and it looks like we are about to have to get a fourth golem. So this is definitely a very interesting story mission here, where we basically have like no health at all. We get one shot by any enemies, and I'm going to go ahead and run away from that Thrall, but I destroyed him, fortunately for us. But we don't have a lot of health, so we kind of just have to like play like a very like glass cannon build here, basically, where we basically just run in, deal a ton of damage, and then die immediately. But fortunately for us, we have unlimited lives right now, so let's go ahead and try to clear out the rest of the Risen here at Overlake Haven. We have this Thrall kind of running towards us, and he is dead. So let's go ahead and put down another Mega Mine here, because it's kind of nice to have. And it looks like we have almost defeated all the Risen here. Looks like we only have 2 more Risen left on the outskirts of this gate here. So it looks like we only have 1 more left. So let's go ahead and taunt this Risen here. And then we can go ahead and run back this way a little bit, because we have 3 mines on the ground right here. And it looks like he kind of stopped running towards us. I'll go ahead and throw that mine there and then taunt him again. And then hopefully he'll run through these 2 mines here. He almost got... Oh, he did get knocked back into the mine right behind him from the mine in front of him. So 1 more mine will kill him.
See if you can get the gate open, and we'll check on the interior of the Haven.
Listen up, Lion Guard. These folk are from the Durman Priory. With their help, we're going to take back the Haven.
So let's go ahead and destroy all of the Risen inside the Haven. Looks like we have secured the outside now, so all we have to do is take back the inside, and then we should be able to have a nice defensive position again in case the undead return here. It is kind of interesting because the Risen have to run through the mines, so I'm kind of just like planting the mines on the Risen, and then when they decide to like move literally any amount, they will just blow up and instantly die. So you can see like there's 2 mines now on that brute. So if it ends up moving after this Lion Guard like runs away or something, or there's some sort of chain effect there, and then we can go ahead and run up here. So let's go ahead and jump up here. I'll go ahead and put a mine down on the stair here just in case. And then let's go ahead and throw some more mines right there. And then I think we have them kind of just running in right here. So if we just throw a bunch of mines right here and like this choke point where they have to run down to us, I think this should be effective in eliminating them. That was our 500th Risen kill there for Zhaitan's Bane. So only 500 more, or 499 more in order to complete this achievement here. So it looks like that was the last of the Risen that we had to fight. So then we can go ahead and chat.
Well done! The munitions golems performed splendidly. Herald, wait! Look over there. Do you see that?
Looks like there was some interesting individual there. Let's go ahead and chat with our friend here, and then we can try to figure out who that mysterious person was there.
Utterly explosive! That should be all of them. Overlake Haven will be safe, with no loss of life. Magnificent work, Kekt. The munitions golems serve their purpose admirably.
I'm extremely impressed, Eorworth. The Dermot Priory is clearly an organization that values cleverness.
You're quite correct. And this is only a taste of what the Priory offers. Think of it. Shelves as high as an oak tree, filled with lore and wisdom.
Adventure, experimentation, ancient tombs rich with, exploration.
I see. Tell me, with your vast knowledge, could you identify that strange-looking creature on the road? I've never seen anything like it before.
Sadly, no. I was wondering the same thing. If Zaitan has spawned some new horror, we must discover its nature.
Agreed. Let's return to the grove. The Pale Tree is waiting for our report.
So now, with this mission complete, let's go ahead and return to the grove and the Pale Tree.
Whisper agents report a strange creature leading the attack on Overlake. Know anything about that, Ioworth?
Our scholars are looking into... Hey, you said your people weren't going to be there.
I said we wouldn't be involved. Not that we wouldn't watch. Do you have a problem with that?
Your order's the most untrustworthy, cowardly lot of reprobates in Tyria.
I have good news, Mother Tree. Overlake Haven is safe, and the undead have been driven away.
Valiant, I was told about the strange undead you saw on the battlefield. I think I can help you. The creature sounds like a lich. From the description I was given, I think I can identify it as Mazdak the Accursed.
Mazdak the Accursed? I know that name. One of my firstborn, Rhiannoch, went to destroy Mazdak many years ago. I armed him with a thorn from my own bow, a mighty sword named Caladbolg. Both were lost, never to return to the grove. Herald, it seems you have a chance to discover the fate of my lost son, and perhaps even avenge Rhiannoch's death.
Legend says that Rhiannoch chose a human to be his squire. If that squire survived, the Order of Whispers could find him. The Order's very good at tracking people down, even when they don't want to be found.
Untrustworthy as always. I have an alternate suggestion. As you may know, the Derman Priory specializes in researching and recovering lost knowledge. This sounds like an exciting opportunity to experiment with a ritual we've uncovered. If cast, it lets you witness the last moments of a person's life.
The mystery of Rhiannoch's death has pained the Sylvari since the days of the Firstborn. Knowing his fate would help to heal that wound.
Branthan, does the Vigil have any suggestions?
Gathering information isn't our strong suit. Instead, I'll go ask my superiors how to kill a lich. I'll meet you back here when you're done.
Very well. Herald, the choice is yours.
So we have another choice here to go with the Order of Whispers as well as the Priory. And I kind of want to explore the Order of the Whispers, but I think I really like the Priory's plan here much more. So let's go ahead and chat with Eorworth here and then say that we can go ahead and go with this magical ritual, and then we can go ahead and figure out some of this information that we need about this mysterious human squire who once worked with a firstborn Sylvari who is dead, who is the first Sylvari to have ever died, named Rhiannoch, who tried to fight this lich. But let's go ahead and get this reward here, and then we can actually equip the staff because it seems very powerful, and we also leveled up, so we can go ahead and get our reward here, and I'll go ahead and just pick that. And then let's go ahead and return to Lichcroft Mere, which is located here in Western Kessex Hills. Here we are at Lichcroft Mere with our story mission, Secrets and the Earth here. Let's go ahead and chat with Eorworth here.
Please come over here. Well met, Herald. I'm so excited about this, I'm positively tingling. The Priory does a great deal of research into ancient forms of magic, and this ritual was a real find. One of our explorers discovered it while tomb raiding in the Crystal Desert. I tell you, one learns the most amazing things as part of the Derman Priory.
Your order sounds tremendously exciting. How do we cast the ritual?
The ritual allows one to step through time and experience the last moments of a subject's life. You will actually tangibly be there.
Could I change anything? Save his life?
Sadly, no. Events which have already happened are fixed in time. However, there is one caveat. Although Rhiannoch's death is predetermined, your death is still mutable. The dangers will be quite real, and potentially lethal. You could die as well.
If this ritual helps me learn what happened, then I'll accept the risk. Just tell me what to do.
Press your hand to the earth. The swamp may have swallowed Rhiannoch's body, but it cannot keep us from contacting his soul. This will be a test of your courage, Herald. Good luck!
So this does seem like an exciting ritual, and we saw their mention of the Crystal Desert, which is a location that at the original launch of 2012 we could not go there, and is located all the way here, far away from where we are. But let's go ahead and come over here to Rhiannok's grave, and we can press our hands into the ground.
Champion. The ritual begins. Focus on the image of a wild hunter, accompanied by his human squire. He faces his enemy, a vast army of corpses. His struggle is your struggle. His courage, your courage. You are as one. Your breath quickens, and your heart beats faster. Your enemies surround you. Now, in this moment, you are with Rhiannok.
We make our stand here. The Pale Tree has given me a mighty weapon. Armed with Caledborg, we cannot fail.
The Lich is powerful, Rhiannok. His army is vast.
What good is power when it's afforded you by an evil master? What good is an army when you're standing against love, honor, and loyalty?
But none of your kind has ever experienced death. Do you even understand fear?
I don't need to understand it. I only need to do what is right.
No, I'm afraid. I'm frightened, Rhiannok. I can't stay.
Kill everything.
We have a massive undead army here, and let's go ahead and actually summon all of our minions here, and then let's go ahead and help out Rhiannok, and we can go ahead and battle the Risen. And we have Squire Wayne all the way back there that is kind of just hiding. We have more and more waves of undead minions coming to attack Rhiannok, and he is standing all alone right now, fighting against all of them. But he has a very powerful sword that was gifted to him by the Pale Tree, known as Caledborg.
Rise, my brothers!
So tired.
Wayne, where are you?
I can't do this. The Lich is too strong. I'm too scared. Let's use the sword to save ourselves. Come on, let's go.
Caledborg, the sword is powerful. With it, we have a chance to...
A chance to escape, yes! Rhiannok, I want to live. I have to get out of here. I don't want to die.
Wayne, no! I need Caledborg to kill Mazdak. Come back. I cannot give up. Mazdak is coming. Forgive him, Mother. We were both too young.
Waking up, are you? Take your time. Breathe slowly. Now, tell me, what did you see?
Poor Rhiannok, abandoned by his best friend. I can't even imagine how that must have felt to a firstborn who'd never before experienced betrayal.
How tragic. The dream was young, and our predecessors knew little of the world. Rhiannok couldn't possibly have understood what it meant to take such an untried human into battle.
Nevertheless, I cannot forgive Wayne for his cowardice. He didn't just flee, he took Rhiannok's weapon. With Caledborg, Rhiannok would have stood a chance. Without it, he was doomed. Come, let's return to the Pale Tree and share what we've discovered.
So that is a very upsetting news that we learned from this vision here. I think a very fun aspect about this though is that Rhiannok is kind of like the first Savari to have learned about betrayal, and we as Savari who are very young ourselves have also learned about betrayal, but of course our predecessors were the first of our people to learn about that, but we do have some similar experiences with that as well. But now let's go ahead and return to the Grove. So Eorwth says, Athelselian, good to see you. I found more information on that Wayne fellow. The Loud's been using Caledborg in pit fights outside Lion's Arch. Apparently, Wayne used to fight at the proper gladiator ring inside the city, but was blacklisted for excessive violence. We should inform the others. The Mother Tree will want to know everything we've discovered. So let's go ahead and chat with the Pale Tree and then all of our friends here.
Welcome back, Herald. Tell me, have you learned of Rhiannok's fate?
I have, Mother. Rhiannok died fighting Mazdak the Accursed, but his sword was stolen.
Stolen? What foul, contemptible foe dared steal Khalid Bolg?
It was no foe. A friend betrayed him. Wayne, Rhiannoc's squire. During the battle, he stole the weapon and fled.
Betrayed? By someone he loved? Why are people so drawn to betrayal?
Wayne still carries Khalid Bolg. He's been using it to compete in gladiatorial tournaments.
I insist that the Vigil accompany you. We'll face this wretch in the tournament ring and thrash his hide. Our order is founded on the principles of courage and duty. I can't stand to hear that Khalid Bolg is being wielded by an honorless traitor.
You trusting fool. Wayne will flee if he finds out you're there. With a little trickery, we can manipulate the tournament. Once Wayne's been beaten, the Order of Whispers can steal the sword with ease. Stop thinking with your sword arm and start using your brain.
Both interesting suggestions. Earworth, your thoughts?
I'm afraid gladiatorial tournaments aren't the Priory's forte. While you get the sword, I'll research Mazdak and try to pinpoint his location.
Herald, Khalid Bolg must be returned. Decide and go forth to deal justice.
You want to compete in the tournament? That's adorably stupid. Why compete when we can just rig it?
You have no honor, Kai. All this needs is a show of force. Once Wayne realizes he's outmatched, he'll give up the sword.
So
You say honor, and I say smarts. I've got them, and you don't.
So we have another option here where we can either rig the tournament or we can join it ourselves. And I think I'm going to go ahead and join the tournament with the Vigil here with Branthrin. So let's go ahead and accept her plan, and then we can head to that gladiatorial arena. We also have a headpiece that we can pick here. I'll go ahead and just pick this strong mask that we can then equip, and we can take a look at what this looks like. And then let's go ahead and waypoint towards Guardian's Pass, which is located all the way here deep in Kryda. So we could actually do something a little bit fun here, because I think our closest waypoint here is actually in Shaymore. And every time that we create a character, we unlock 5 waypoints around the world. The first waypoint at each of the race's starting zones. So we could waypoint all the way over here to Smokestead waypoint if we wanted. But let's go ahead and waypoint to the village of Shaymore, where we started this Let's Play series a very long time ago. We came through here on our human guardian, and now here we are on our Sylvari Necromancer. So let's go ahead and make our way east here towards that arena. But I think while we are on the way there, we could actually go ahead and stop by 2 hero points on the way, because we have the entire world that we can explore in order to get different map completion objectives. So we can go ahead and get this hero challenge right here, and then there's another hero challenge up there, and then we can unlock our elite skill here. So let's go ahead and commune with this, and then we can fight the Windmill King here for another hero point. And now in our hero panel here, we can go ahead and learn the Lich form, the elite skill here, where we can assume the form of a Lich for a brief time, which is very fitting because we are fighting a Lich in this story mission, where we will improve our position on vitality, gain a life force when the skill ends. We also gain stability as well, and it lasts for 20 seconds. And it is kind of similar to our Shroud ability, where we will have a bunch of new skills that we can use. So let's go ahead and come into our build here, and I'll go ahead and equip this into our build right there. And then we can spend our next hero points if we level up to level 33 to get some more traits here. But here we are in eastern Queensdale, and we are near the Shire of Beetleton, which we see Beetleton Farms right here directly north of us. But we can go ahead and run through this map portal into Gindarin Fields. And we are here at Stoneguard Gate, where we have the battle pit here. So let's go ahead and join the Bad Apple story mission here.
There he is. That's Wayne fighting in the pit. You can tell by looking at his sword. It's got to be Khalid Bolg.
Treasonous snake! Let's jump down there and break it out of his hand.
We can't make a scene. Half these people are bandits. If they suspect the sword's value, we'll never make it out alive.
You're right, of course. But that doesn't make this any easier. The Vigil punishes evil. It's difficult to stand here and allow it to continue. Then we'll have to enter the tournament as we'd planned. If we defeat him honestly, we can claim the sword as battle price. If he doesn't give it to us, he'll be shamed in front of all these thugs. Then he's the dead one. If you think you can beat him, you join the tournament. I'll stay up here. If these thugs get rowdy, I'll handle them.
Good plan. All we have to do is register to fight.
So let's go ahead and volunteer for the pit fighting competition, and we can come over here. We see a ton of different people around here.
Plants. Watch the fighting and let Daddy drink his beer.
So let's go ahead and talk to this Char here, and then we can go ahead and register for this tournament.
You there, Sylvari. We don't see many of you around here. Either of you want to fight in the pit?
I will. Who's that guy down there now? I'd like to fight him.
That's Wayne, our current champion. First, you have to survive the preliminary rounds. Then you can fight Wayne.
Last call for competitors. Who else wants to fight in the pit?
Why'd I bet on that runty Norn and not the human?
Wayne always wins. I thought I told you that 3 bouts ago.
I know. I just can't help rooting for the underdog.
All right, you toughs, here we go. Fighting in the first round, the Brainstormer versus a new Sylvari contender. Fighters, to the pit.
Good luck.
One more kick to the old grunk, and you'll be back in business. My murder bot's ready. Sick him.
So we have an Assuran with his golem coming down here, and I think we'll come out fighting and we'll just use our Lich form straight
The
off.
tournament will now begin. Besix the Brainstormer fights a newcomer in this first round.
A Sylvari? Oh dear. I'm going to chop you to bits and use you as kindling.
Well, let's go ahead and use our Lich form here, and we can transform into a Lich, and then we have our auto attack here, Deathly Claw, send out Grasping Claws to damage your foes, and then we have Lich's Gaze, fire debilitating projectile at random nearby targets, so we can go ahead and use this, and it just does a ton of damage to random enemies. Ripple of Horror, launch a wave that terrorizes foes and hits, and may activate March of Undeath to then teleport to it, but we can only be in it for 20 seconds, and then it takes 150 seconds for the cooldown to recharge, so we're going to have to wait for that to recharge. But we defeated the Assure there. Let's go ahead and defeat a Murder Bot here, and then we can go ahead and move on to the next round. I'll try to summon my minions here to help us out. I probably should have done that before I went into Lich form, but this fight is overall pretty easy.
Another great match. Next up, Dirty Pete the Pirate.
Dad, I thought you said not to call them plants.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Round 2. Place your bets. Stinky Pete steps into the pit to face off against our Sylvari challenger.
You look fresh from the dream. By the time I'm done with you, you'll wish you were back in your pod.
So we have a Norn Pirate here. Let's go ahead and fight her and her Fire Breath there, and then we can go ahead and just use all of our Spectre and Warhorn skills right here, and then we can go ahead and switch over to our staff and deal a ton of damage. And it looks like there is a bunch of other pirates in the arena now, so maybe I should have waited to use my staff skills there. Let's go ahead and come into Shroud skill here, and we can AoE them down, and they are now all dead. And then let's go ahead and fight the pirate again. So we had a little bit of a phase there where we got her down to like 33% or like 50% or something, and then she switched off to have her allies come help out.
Next, you face Rulparu the Terrible, Scourge of the Seas.
So we have Rulparu here, the Scourge of the Seas, so we can go ahead and fight this Quaggan here.
You're gonna lose that coin as soon as Wayne steps up.
I don't know. I got a feeling about this one.
You got a feeling about every loser today. We have a 2-time winner, spectators. Let's raise the stakes. Place your bets. It's Sylvari versus... Wait for it... Quaggan!
You're out of your element. Quaggan is about to fool up your day.
So it looks like the Quaggan just went into its rage form there. Let's go ahead and fight against it. We can go ahead and throw down all our fields here, and then switch over to our Spectre to do some more single target damage here. And then of course we can always rely on our Shroud. It looks like our Bone Fiend tends to tank a lot of our enemies here, which is nice. And it looks like this Quaggan has a ton of health right now, so we're going to have to keep using a bunch more things in order to get this health all the way down to 0%. And then I believe after this fight, we can then fight Wayne, who is the person who stole Caliburg from Rhiannoch, so that we can go ahead and get a little bit of vengeance for someone who's kind of like our ancestor, but the Squadron is now
Well
dead.
done. The next match will be for the championship.
Oh.
You win. Quaggan is tired. The only, the master of disaster, lord of the sword. It's Wayne.
I'm not afraid of you, but I am ready for you. I've been ready for years.
So let's go ahead and fight Wayne here, and then we can also go into our Lich form once again, and then we can summon Madness, repeatedly summon minions that explode after a period of time if they are not killed. So then we can go ahead and do that, and let's actually do this attack here, which then we can use to teleport, and then we have Grim Spectre here, siphon health from nearby enemies over time, gaining vitality each time you hit an enemy. So these are all the different skills that we can use with our Lich form there, which is pretty fun if I do say so myself. But we have Wayne here, who is now at 30% health, wielding Caliburg right there. So let's go ahead and finish him off, and then confront him about the sword.
You're outmatched, Wayne, but I'm not here for your life. I'm here for Caliburg. Give me Rhiannok's sword and I'll let you go.
The sword is mine. Rhiannoc wasn't worthy of it. He was willing to give his life. For what?
For his people. And for you, Wayne. He stayed to give you a head start from Mazdak. The Lich would have chased you down to get Caliburg. That's why Rhiannoc died.
You can't know. You weren't there. I'll kill you. Then I'll put Rhiannoc and you smug Sylvari behind me for good. I earned this sword. I suffered for it. You can't take it away from me.
So let's go ahead and fight Wayne one more time here. Let's go ahead and use everything we have in our arsenal against him, except our Lich form, because that's on cooldown for 65 more seconds. Throw down all of our marks here, and then we'll go ahead and go into our Shroud here, latch on to Wayne, and then start using all of our Shroud abilities.
He was weak. It wasn't my fault. It was his.
And then we can go ahead and finish off Wayne here. Now it looks like we are going to have the opportunity to kill him, and then we can just take Caliburg from his body. So let's go ahead and retrieve Caliburg here.
Blaming his opponent's sword as spoils of battle. Let's have a cheer for our new champion.
And then let's go ahead and
I was
run up
right.
here.
I won.
And we can go ahead and chat with Branthrin.
Believe it. I guess sometimes even the lottery pays off.
You're amazing down there. Your combat prowess is really something. I envy you the beating you gave that thug. I wish I'd been able to lend a hand.
I was prepared to let Wayne go, but he wouldn't stop attacking me. I didn't want to kill him.
That's what makes you great Vigil material. You should seriously consider joining my order. Wayne had been carrying that burden for so long, it was probably a relief to die at the hands of someone who knew the truth.
You're right. I could see it in his eyes. He seemed almost grateful.
Come, Herald. I'll take Caliburg back to the Pale Tree, and then we'll find a way to make Mazdak pay.
But now, with this mission complete, let's go ahead and return to the Grove, and then we can figure out how to claim vengeance against Mazdak. Let's go ahead and chat
Wayne
with
is
the
not
Pale
the
Tree and
only
our
villain
friends.
in this tale. We must bring down Mazdak.
Killing a lich is no easy matter. It will require significant planning.
Every creature has a weakness, even Mazdak. If we have the knowledge, we will know where to strike.
Welcome, Herald. Join our circle. There is much to explain.
Greetings, my courageous herald. I have heard news of your victory. Caliburg is returned at last.
It was difficult, but worth it. Wayne's been punished at last.
Herald, my research at the Priory proved fruitful. I know where Mazdak the Accursed was buried, and I believe I know his next target. He's planning to attack a human town known as the Ascalon Settlement. If we don't stop him, he'll wipe them out.
He's attacking Ascalon Settlement. They're a peaceful area. They have very few defenses. We've got to stop Mazdak.
We have the soldiers. If the Pale Tree would allow Caliburg to be born into battle, the Vigil can destroy Mazdak. All it takes is firepower, courage, and a direct assault.
You always think in a straight line. Look, Mazdak's forces will have to move through the Centaur tribes to get to Ascalon Settlement. Why not turn them against each other and take down two birds with one stone? The Order of Whispers could do that easily.
I know where Mazdak was buried. The Priory could explore his tomb, get past the traps, and find a way to destroy the Lich while he slumbers. It's the logical approach.
This Lich must be destroyed. For Rhiannoch. For Tyria. Listen to me. The Orders wish you to join them. If you do, they will lend you strength. With their backing, we can defeat Mazdak. It is your destiny to fight Zhaitan. Joining an Order will help you achieve that goal. Choose wisely.
Herald, I place Khalid Bolg in your care. Decide how to defeat Mazdak, and know that the hopes of the Grove go with you.
So here we have one final decision to make in this episode, and it is the most important decision, where we can join one of the 3 orders of Tyria. So we can choose the Order of Whispers, the Vigil, or the Dermot Priory. And I think for our character here, I am going to go ahead and go with the Dermot Priory. So let's go ahead and chat with Eorworth here, and then we can do some tomb raiding, and we can go ahead and find Mazdak's body, and we can defeat him. So let's go ahead and accept this plan of attack.
The Priory is honored that you join us. We'll handle the formalities after the battle. Traherne, will you accompany us on this adventure? Your knowledge of Aurian undead is second to none.
I'm not going to join your order, but yes, I will lend my aid.
So let's go ahead and gain entrance to Mazdak's tomb, which is located in Gandharan Fields. And I was just thinking that the finale for all of the personal story chapter 3s for each of the race actually ends here in Gandharan Fields for everyone except the Norn, which is very interesting. But let's go ahead and go to Stoneguard Gate and head east. So we are currently level 32, and we are very close to level 33, where we are probably going to hit it while we run over there. So as we do that, we can go ahead and get some hero points as we level up, and then we can go ahead and slot in some more traits into our build here. We have some centaurs here that we're just going to run past. We fought them a long time ago now, but we will be fighting them again soon enough. Let's go ahead and get our level up reward here, because we are now level 33. And I'll go ahead and just pick this like Berserker leggings here, and then we can go ahead and equip that. And then we have 8 more hero points there that we can go ahead and equip into our traits here. So we can only learn one of the traits here. We can learn Eternal Life, where we gain life force every interval up to the threshold when not in Shroud. Gain protection when you enter a Shroud. So we gain 3% every 1 second. And I believe this is while we're in combat. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, we are out of combat right now, but when we... Oh wait, no, we don't even have this slotted. Let's go ahead and slot this in. And then we're actually gaining life force right now, which is really cool. This is a really cool trait, which basically means whenever we go into combat, assuming we're out of combat for long enough, we will be able to instantly go into Shroud, which is very fun. But let's go ahead and just swim across here, and then we have our story mission right here. We have this crypt right here, and we have Dead of Winter with this really cool concept art. And let's begin the final mission for this chapter. We have Traherne, Kaith, and Eorworth here with us, so this should be a pretty fun adventure.
Welcome, novice. Today, you get your first taste of the adventures inherent in being a member of the Dermot Priory. I'm so excited for you. The Tomb of Mazdak. I couldn't have asked for a better trial of your abilities.
I'm looking forward to it. So, what should we expect within the crypt?
A challenge. Our small but clever team will be following your lead. We'll need to find Mazdak's chamber within the tomb. Once there, we will find a way to defeat him. I'm certain of it.
This tomb is ancient. It may even date back to the spread of the first human settlers on Tyria.
Such places are filled with traps and other dangers. We must enter cautiously.
I'm ready for this. I swear by Khalid Bolg's thorn, we will defeat Mazdak.
So this is a very old tomb indeed, and there are some risen in there. Let's go ahead and open this portcullis or gate or whatever we have right here, and then we can go into this tomb. And I wanted to say charge into the tomb, but we are definitely going to have to be a little bit cautious here. So let's go ahead and interact with it, and then only those who show respect may enter. So the first thing that I think of with respect is bowing. If it's not that, I might be saluting or kneeling.
wits
Looks
sharp,
like it was
champion.
bowing.
We'll
So
need them.
let's go ahead and run into here, and we have a ton of Risen, and I should probably go ahead and summon my minions here as well. So let's go ahead and put down all of our marks and then continue into the tomb. So I was not being cautious, and there were some pressure plates on the ground there. So let's go ahead and fight the Risen from being on the ground here. And then we can go ahead and throw this fetid ground on them, and I think we'll probably be able to kill this Risen Thrall and be able to rally here. And then we have to be careful of any pressure plates there. So we definitely can't just charge in right there. Looks like those pressure plates are like big white slabs that are a little bit higher, so there's like 2 right here. Let's go ahead and go around those 2. And then looks like our minion ran over it, so it kind of triggered the trap there.
Archaeology is dangerous work, but a clever mind can keep you safe.
I see no enemies. Why do you call it dangerous?
The danger is in the things one cannot see. Look at these designs. Pre-Crichton. This might have been the tomb of an
That's
ancient
enough
king.
violence for now.
The door's enchanted. It won't open. Can you see any way to get through?
So let's go ahead and examine the door. Only a sworn protector of Kryda may open these hollowed gates. Let's go ahead and leave, and then it looks like we have a bunch of different like sarcophagi right here, or coffins. We have Captain Bragan, and then we can go ahead and chat with the captain here and see what is going on right now.
You dare disturb the tomb of Mazdak, mighty conqueror of old?
Hear me, Ghost. Your master Mazdak has been corrupted by an ancient evil. We must pass. We wish to end his blight, but this enchanted door bars our path. Will you help us, Protector?
Corrupted? By what foul force? Speak truth, interloper, or I will know.
By the Elder Dragon Zaitan. He has stolen your lord's body and turned his spirit to evil.
This is dark news. Mazdak was once lord of these lands, serving the people and the gods. To hear he has now become a servant of evil. I will aid you, travelers. I will show you the path safely through the tomb.
Thank you, Captain. We'll end the dragon's corruption and make this right.
We have a bunch of ghostly archers coming out of those coffins there, and then it looks like Bragan will be able to open the gate, and then we can go ahead and push through, but I see a bunch of
Fascinating,
traps
these
there.
old tombs. It takes a ghost to beat a... well...
Be wary. This corridor is trapped. You must walk as softly as a ghost.
Hold back, friends. I have an idea. Whoa! Let's do better, shall we? Don't want to end up like my poor minion.
Well said, Traherne. Careful feet, everyone. Careful feet.
So Traherne kind of scouted the area ahead, and let's be very careful here. And then we can go ahead and... oh, I did not wait long enough. I was just about to say wait for these traps to disappear, and I did not wait long enough again. We can dodge that one, and I'm kind of just going for it, and we're going to go ahead and jump over here. I'm crippled, but we made it alive, but we have a ton of Risen here. So let's go ahead and fight all of the Risen, and then we can go ahead and see what awaits us as far as traps go. So let's go ahead and try to summon my healing minion here. I'm actually going to go down to the poison, but we should be able to kill this Thrall who's at like 3% health, and then finish off this Abomination and other Thrall as well.
That creature was an abomination, but it was definitely not the Lich.
That was a creature of darkness. It had no place within this sacred tomb.
Where you find one of those creatures, you often find more. They rarely travel alone.
If so, then they may be in the next chamber. That way lies the crypt of my master, Mazdak. Come, I will lead the way.
So we have another door in front of us here. Let's go ahead and interact with it, and it says they sacrifice their lives in our darkest hour. Light will honor them in kind. So let's go ahead and chat with the captain here. And he says, I do not know your race, strange one, but if you are an ally to Kryda, then my sword is at your disposal. This is the crypt of Mazdak, royal son of Ur who came to these shores so that humans may raise a new nation, Kryda. Amazing, the origin of Kryda. My children and their children served Kryda and his throne. I do no less in death. Very interesting. So we have a bunch of different like torches right here that we can light. The torch won't light. An inscription mentions bones of the ancestors. I should look for bones nearby. So let's go ahead and wander around here and see if we can find anything. We have some cave spiders back here. and we have kind of a long winding maze, so there might be bones in here. And let's go ahead and summon our Bone Fiend, which we could use if we wanted to, but it's probably not the bones we need. And then let's go ahead and try to find what we need in this little bit of a maze here. So I see some ancestors' bones right there, so that might be good. Let's go ahead and equip, or let's go ahead and pick this up. And then it looks like we have another one there, so we might have to be coming back to this area. But let's go ahead and run out of here right now and return to that door. We have the torches. We can go ahead and strike the brazier with the bones, place the bones in the brazier, wave the bones near the braziers in a ritualistic manner. So I think we can go ahead and try to wave it first, nothing happens. Strike the bones, nothing happens. Place the bone. So it looks like that torch is lit up, and it looks like we need to find 5 more bones. So it looks like with the bone we had in hand, we can just interact with these ones, and then we can go ahead and come over here and do the same thing. So it looks like we only had to find one more, the one that we saw on the ground there.
This should be Mazdak's actual tomb. Prepare yourself for the worst.
We have Mazdak the Accursed right there with some risen brutes around it. Let's go ahead and enter into the area, and then looks like we're going to have a little bit of a chat here.
Sylvari? Here? You have long roots for such small weeds. Flee while you still have your lives. When the human race was as young as your own, I conquered these lands and named them Kryta.
Now I recognize these markings. Mazdak brought the first human settlers to Kryta from Or. No wonder he's so powerful. As a mortal, he lived in Or, while the dragons slept, hidden deep beneath the ground.
You may have once been a hero, Mazdak, but now you're nothing but Zaitan's slave. We don't fear you.
Ah, but you should know this before you die. No weapon forged can harm me. You face your doom.
I carry a weapon that was never forged, Mazdak. Perhaps you recognize this blade.
Khalidbolg. I thought it was destroyed long ago. Very well, Sylvari. Let this be a battle to the death and beyond. Pathetic little adventurers, come fight me.
So now we have some special abilities here with Khalidbolg. We have Daybreak Blade, as well as Flashing Arc, which is basically our auto attack here. We have Electrolyze, hit multiple foes with arcs of Chain Lightning. Skyfall, smash your foes, knocking them to the ground. We have Twilight Crash, knock back all foes in front of you. And then Maelstrom Strike, thrash foes around you in a spinning frizzy while slinging projectiles. But I think I want to go ahead and use our Lich form here to fight the Lich Mazdak the Accursed. So let's go ahead and come over towards him and use all of our abilities on him, and then we can go ahead and finish him off with Khalidbolg as well. So let's go ahead and use all of our abilities right now, and then let's go ahead and come out of here and swing Khalidbolg at him to land a final strike. And then we have some risen roots around here as well that we can go ahead and clean up, and we have Mazdak who is dead on the ground right there. One last thrall. Let's go ahead and overkill him a little bit, and then let's chat with our friends.
Mazdak the Accursed is dead. By the blade of Khalidbolg, Rhiannoch is at last avenged.
Novice, you've shown both intelligence and courage. I rate your performance as exceptional. You should head to Lion's Arch and receive your first formal assignment. It's time to send you out into the field.
Thank you. I'll leave soon. Kaith, you're so quiet. Are you injured?
No, I'm thinking. Rhiannoch died before he could fulfill his wild hunt. He failed because he was alone. If we wish to fight Zaitan, we must not let fear or anger force us apart. If we do not find a way to defeat the dragons, Tyria will be destroyed. Tell me, my friend, do you think it's possible for people to let go of their differences? To unite?
Our dreams inspire us, Kaith. We must never give up hope, or we give up the dream itself.
Then I must also go to Lion's Arch. It is time to call together Destiny's Edge.
By your leave, my friend, I'll return Khalidbolg to the Pale Tree. I'll be sure to tell her the tale of Mazdak's defeat.
Will I see you again, Trahearne?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Our wild hunts are linked, my friend. We will need one another. May your path be filled with adventure and joy. Until we meet again.
So let's go ahead and give Khalidbolg to Trahearne, who is a very fun character that we have met at the start of the story here. And then we are going to say goodbye to him for now, but we will meet up with him once again soon enough. But let's go ahead and hand it over. and then he will take it to return to the Pale Tree. And with the death of Mazdak here, and with us joining the Dermot Priory, we have now completed this story mission here, so we can get all of our rewards here, and we have a Dermot Priory weapon container. So I want to come down here towards the staff here, and then we can pick up the staff, and we can take a look at what this looks like. We'll replace that, and then we have a nice new staff that represents our new position in the Dermot Priory. But I think this character will also return to the Grove right behind Trahurin. But as far as this episode goes, I'm going to go ahead and call it good here. I mentioned in the last episode that the next 3 episodes are going to be very fun, as we're going to take a brief look at some additional professions and stories in this game just to finish up the rest of Act 1. But for the most part, we have finished the first part of the game here, and then 3 episodes from now, we will be journeying into Act 2 of the personal story, where we will be returning to some of our older characters, and we will be exploring some new areas as well. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I very much enjoyed playing through it and exploring all of this story, and I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in the world of Tyria. Goodbye.